this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. First and 10, here's Brady. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guys. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Brady. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that makes...
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Von Bell. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And some room to run now. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
So that one just a little touch pass, but it paid off quite handsomely.
Yeah, and let's face it, the quarterback loves it because it pads his stats as a completed pass for nice yardage downfield. But I like the way they get the receiver in motion. It's almost like he's running a route before he gets the football, because he's got a full head of steam when the ball is popped in his direction.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
And that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
Here we go.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Joe Mixon.
His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes the score 7-0.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together.
Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they had things pointing in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight. And that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Brady gives this one off to Jones.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
You know, you're following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under. CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones.
And this is going to be a Bucs first down as good running gets him to about the 44. So a nice run right there. And worth mentioning their usual starting running back out this week. The hope is it's just a short-term absence. But this is where it pays, Charles, to have a quality reserve that you can turn to when you need it.
And to me, they definitely have that because this is a guy who's more than capable of picking up the slack. And he's likely going to see a big share of carries as this one progresses. And how many times do we see running backs jump into the breach and have big games?
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
52 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
A give to Jones. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Now the toss to Jones, running right. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Still 15 yards to go, 2nd down.
Now they'll throw with Brady.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
You definitely would have liked to have hit on that one, because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Brady. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
The 6-2 is their record through the first 8 weeks. Now, Charles, what is your assessment for them in the second half of the season?
Well, I think that the road gets a little bit tougher for them. And when I look at their schedule, I see some of these road games, and I know those are going to be difficult. But this is a good team, so I'm going to go with 11-5. That seems about right, and I think that'd be a nice accomplishment, too.
Here we go. Ready? Nice up. 12.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Burrow. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit. Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
On play action, it's Brady. Looking downfield for Godwin. And Brady going to be intercepted a third time. Chidobe with a pick.
And the Bengals are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
From the gun, a give to Mixon. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Calling a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
11 MT.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Here's Burrow. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki.
The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase, complete.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Joe Mixon.
And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Here we go. Tahan. Right 80. Right side.
On 2nd and 12, Burrow. And He's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
It's a nice zone breaker right there. Take the tight end, move him out to the slot, then have him run a corner route versus the zone coverage, which means he's going to be behind the shallow coverage and ahead of the deep coverage, put the ball right on him.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and it's going to be a first down. Well done.
This has to be great for the psyche of this offense. Presented with bad field position, they didn't let it stop them. They rolled downfield and scored a touchdown.
McPherson now for the extra point.
And it's good to make it 14-0.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Brady going to fake the give to Jones and set up to throw.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress. And I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
2nd and 10.
From the gun, it's Brady. That's caught by Howard. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Looking downfield for Godwin. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Chris Godwin.
His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Bucs get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. Burrow's throw here caught by Mims.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
first down. Here's Burrow. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. He's going to look deep down the field. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, this from 33. McPherson's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
The final shot before half for Brady. Going deep for Hopkins. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bengals drive about to get going. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. A toss left, Mixon. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. Skirts by him at the 35. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 52 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And McPherson on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Running right, Jones. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Brady. A check down here to Jones. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Brady. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Brady now on 1st down. Complete to Jones. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short. Now Brady. Going deep for Hopkins. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone. And that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down. Tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Brady going to throw. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Into the red zone, it's Brady. That is caught at the 7. And the Buccaneers are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Now Brady. Dancing to his left. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit.
It seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. McCann's got it teed up. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 66 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Mixon. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. A handoff to Mixon. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Big 13. Big 13.
They come with a jet sweep here as Burrow just taps that forward.
Able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain there of 21 yards. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. It's Mixon on the counter. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
we go, here we go. Can. Stop.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now the Bengals on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
11 MT.
Now they run with Mixon. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. McPherson's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Brady now to throw. That's complete once again to Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Brady. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Brady to throw again. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Here's Brady to throw. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Brady. Being chased out left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Brady. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Bucs have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. McCann's got it teed up. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And no room to maneuver there. Give them a yard up to the 47. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They try to eat some clock with Mixon. He'll get 3 up to midfield. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From midfield now, Burrow. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is going to have the Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Burrow giving it to Mixon on the option.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. 120 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Rosen to a knee, and that ought to do it. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises, really both sides.